Hey guys, how are you? It's Wednesday evening, probably about 8:30. The sun's just about down here. This is my third time starting this video. I have some puppies who are needing to be the center of attention this evening. So I am here with my little guy, obviously. This is Thomas Niklaus, better known as Niklaus. And he is hanging out with me for the first time all week. Actually, he and Brewster have been in their little twinning outfits since I changed them, and they've been hanging out in the new bassinet, the bassinet piece from my new stroller, pretty well just covered up with this muslin blanket, because my obsession with Charlie continues. And so Charlie actually has been living in my living room, and I tuck her in at night on my chair so that when I get up in the morning, I can see her when I come out, since I'm always the first one up. So, yeah. But I'm thinking about him and Brewster and Ronan. Of course, I'm always like, oh, Ronan. I watched a video today, Tasha at Pixie Mommy's Reborns, on one of her videos that she posted today. I'll go ahead and actually put a link to that video in the description. She asked a couple of questions. I think there were 2 videos actually. Yeah. But the video that I'm talking about, she asked, you know, like, who is your favorite? Like, if you had to pick one, if you were in a situation where you had to, if you have multiple reborns, if you had to go down and only select one, you know, who would that be? Do you have a favorite? And it's so funny how this sort of like virtual panic can set in, even though it's a rhetorical or imaginary. It's an imaginary question. I guess it's not a rhetorical question. It's a, you know, a what would you do if question, but I still get, oh, what is on your leg, babe? That's not on his leg. Okay, came off. We're good. And I don't want to give up my babies. See if I can get him. He's got these floppy legs. They like to flop around sometimes. But Niklaus is my main man. He is such a sweetie, and he just feels amazing, and he looks at you amazingly. Of course, he looks so much bigger on the camera. I find that his left profile is the sweet one. He can be pouty, he can be angry, he can be sweet. Oh, something going on here. I don't know what is going on here. I got little flyaways and all kinds of things here. But anyway, I guess to answer the question would be somewhere between Niklaus and Charlie for my babes. If I had to only have one, I really can't. I really cannot picture myself letting him go. Not only because I love him and he's so beautiful and was a big investment and all of that, but he was such. He was the ultimate magic for me. Like, he was the one who really changed this hobby for me and really expanded my horizons on making things happen that you want to happen. So I wanted to bring him out. I don't think that I'm ready to change him or Brewster out of these outfits because I really haven't spent a lot of time enjoying them in them. They have been displayed, but of course I don't hang out in my bedroom, so they are covered to avoid dust, and my dogs don't shed, but just to keep them protected. Honestly, I don't even like them to be out. There's a lot of sun in the room. Yeah, always paranoid that something's going to just like come out of nowhere and ruin my dolls. So anyway, but he is my future foodie, my little healthy, robust boy, and he's going to be a master chef and food reviewer, I'm sure. He will have wonderful taste, but also he's got gorgeous green eyes, and so this outfit looks amazing on him. He looks so free right now, and he's got his little pacifier here. Little cute boy. So I wanted to come on and talk with you guys a little bit about something that Tasha sort of touched on actually in her other video prior to the one that I just mentioned. She sort of touched on it, and it definitely reminded me of the topic and the fact that I wanted to talk about it a while ago and then I didn't. So the topic that I want to talk about today is reviews. Reviews of artists, public feedback of artists, what's fair, what should we say, how much should we say. So the topic of conversation in the video from Pixie Mommy's Reborns that I have mentioned was how the vein of conversation at that point was about how somebody can really be enjoying somebody's humor and feedback and honesty and you know, keeping it real and all of that, but then they might give a feedback, you know, a review or their opinion based on work they've seen by an artist that this person, you, me, whatever, loves, ranks really, really high in our appreciation or admiration, and we totally don't agree with that, and all of a sudden we can start to feel that that person is a hater. That's a very popular word, a hater. I've seen it happen. I've sort of been like mixed up in some of that knee-jerk reaction from people who were personally offended by someone's honest feedback of a doll. And so I think I want to talk about this because any business, we have a business. My husband is a licensed massage therapist. He has been for a long time. He runs his own business. He has a Yelp profile, or he had a Yelp profile for a very long time. And anybody, if you have used Yelp, you'd be familiar with this, but Yelp is an app and a website for businesses, and it's a place for consumers to find businesses, for businesses to promote their location, to share coupons, pictures of their business, their hours, their services, and then it's a directory for consumers to come on and find businesses. And one of the strong features or benefits of this app is the customer reviews. A customer is able to rank the service, to rate it with stars, I believe, to attach pictures, to share their experience. And the business cannot just delete these reviews. And if the person doesn't have an established presence on Yelp, Yelp does filter out the automatically shown reviews and favors reviews from people who are very active on the app. And this is supposed to deter businesses from just having people hop on and create a profile, or maybe creating their own and skewing the average results or what have you. But then there is a button you can push to say display all reviews. Now, if this is fairly common, of course, let's take a very well-known website for the sale of goods. That would be Amazon.com. Amazon also has a very strong showing of product reviews, customer questions that can be answered by customers who have purchased the product before. They solicit reviews, they solicit input on questions, and they rank the product. And of course, if you are shopping, you can go and you can look at people's experience with the goods. eBay also has feedback, which is a good motivation. I find a lot of sellers who say, if you're unhappy, contact me first before you leave me a negative review and let me make it right. It is a way to influence the reviews to show more positive than negative. But then again, if the business is ready to make it right, if there's an issue, then that's a good thing. But I have seen a lot of discouragement of leaving reviews that are less than glowing or sharing reviews that are less than glowing within the doll collecting world. And I can only speak about Reborns because while I have some other dolls, like little Bruce here, I'm certainly not in a creepy doll community. I'm in the Reborn doll community. So I find a common frowning upon negative reviews or honest reviews. And I think the rule of thumb that a lot of people that I've heard speak up in this manner tend to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it at all. Or it's a matter of opinion, and just because you don't like it doesn't mean that it's not good, or you're unrealistic, or, there are a number of different things that I've heard. And I'm very curious to hear what you guys think because, first off, unless somebody is misleading people, stealing from them, completely misrepresenting themselves, and scamming people, robbing people, overcharging, falsifying their advertisement, I don't think that slamming somebody negatively, bad-mouthing them, or even publicly airing this terrible experience, if you have not attempted to make resolution with that person first, I don't agree with that. Personally, I don't. However, if I were to come on and say, hi guys, this is my doll from Wendy Graham of Wendy's Babies, and he is the Atticus Kip from Laura Lee Eagles. He is exquisitely painted. Now, he is a very fair-skinned baby. His skin is quite translucent, and I can see his veining. He's got quite a bit of mottling. He's very, he's very light. And, in general, I prefer babies that have more of the reddish purplish blue undertones, much more, less hair, more realistic to the size of baby that he is. And I generally prefer more of an olive skin tone, not such a pale baby. To me, this is a little bit too close to porcelain. He's really well painted, but I definitely have worked with artists that I much prefer the work of. What would you say? What would you think? So he has all of this great detail. He has beautifully tipped nails. And I feel his nails are a little bit too manicured. But of course, it's very good. His creasing is good. He's got a lot of veins. To me, again, Tanner Baby wouldn't have quite so much see-through aspect to his skin. But you can see he is very beautifully painted. So she's definitely a wonderful artist, but not my favorite work. What would you say? For the record, I think Niklaus is perfect. I love his skin tone. I love the translucence of his skin. I love his veining. I love his mottling. I love how pale he is. I think he is as close to what I would have designed for this sculpt as I could imagine. I love him. I love him. I think Wendy Graham is amazing. That's why I have 2 dolls from her. She just has an energy and a flavor about her dolls that I love. So that review that I just left was a hypothetical. It certainly reflects the feedback of some people that have seen him and have seen her dolls and would not choose to purchase them for themselves. But it would be a review that is complimentary to the skill of the artist, but shares my opinion on where the style doesn't work for me. Or what if I said, and of course he's not, but what if I said, he's not well varnished, He's quite shiny in many spots. I don't feel that is a very sturdy coating. So if you purchase a doll from this artist, you should think about that. You maybe, like, just be aware if you have a preference in this direction, you might find that particular application is lacking with this artist. Now, he's very well varnished. He's very well protected. He's very sturdy. I don't have fears of his paint rubbing off. But if that were the case, do you guys think that that would be a fair review? I'm going to share my opinion. I feel that, number one, being kind and respectful, professional, even if you are the customer, being professional to me, number one, is a common courtesy and also wins you more battles than being nasty. Of course, I feel that. I also feel that that we do better by leading with what we expect to receive. So if we want a mature and courteous artist, of course we want to, I think we have a better chance of getting that treatment if that's what we offer and the way we carry ourselves. That's my opinion. And you know what they say about those. The second thing I'll say is I feel that an honest review is fair and beneficial when you're dealing with purchase, business, and the exchange of money. Now, quite frequently with artists, you'll see a kit review. I'm going to bring his sister up right now just because I'm going to bring her up. But this guy, maybe we'll put him in the back for a minute. I love his little, oh, you can only see his arms. That's okay. I'm going to bring Brewster up because she deserves a little bit of appreciation too. How is she fitting in the frame here? Okay. She is another Wendy's baby. I have gotten feedback on her that she's the most incredible doll that people have seen. She looks so real and exactly what they would want. Looks so much like their redheaded niece or whatever. And I have received feedback that say she looks like she's been beaten up. She's bruised. She's way too fair for me, and everything in between. So it is opinion. The second thing that I would like to say, in my opinion on the subject, is that I feel that, well, I guess I already started to say it, but that honest feedback is fair when it comes to the exchange of money. And I started to speak about kit reviews. I watched 2 kit reviews today. When artists purchase a kit, when painters, Reborn painting artists, purchase the kits from Bountiful Baby or McPherson's or any of the other number of sites, a lot of times they'll come on and do a kit review. They'll do a box opening of the kit, they'll open it up, they'll talk about the quality of the sculpting, the quality of the vinyl, the realism of the sizing, the proportions of the limbs, and all of those things. And those are very helpful for other artists who are considering purchasing it, and other collectors who may consider collecting that kit. And also they're really beautiful to go back on then once you have a painted baby, to go back and see the bare kit and then see the finished product. It's really neat. If every review were singing the praises and spoke kindly and nicely, well, kind is great, but just shared compliments and no criticism or no quote-unquote negative feedback, there would be a lot of people who were caught off guard or were unhappy and didn't know what to expect. And we'd also, in my opinion, see a slowdown in the progression and the advancement and the improvement of the skill of everyone involved, whether it be a sculptor, whether it be the companies that create the kits from the sculpt, or whether it be the painters. And I also think that shaming people to the point where they're afraid to leave, to not say anything. If it's negative, just don't say anything at all. I think that also leaves a lot of room for people to sort of strong arm their way into putting out subpar work and not having people know about it. It leaves a little bit more room for people to be taken advantage of, in my opinion. Also, it's a little bit of an interesting thing when you're talking about commissioned art pieces and when you're talking about art pieces that are actively marketed for sale. So you have artists that create out of the need to create, just like you have authors that create out of the need to write. The characters speak to them and they need to come forth. And they don't know what's going to happen. And then you have artists who create as a business also. And I think there's something a little bit different about that. Not to say there are art critics, even in the world of people who just display their art and don't sell it, or may or may not ever sell a piece because they would only be willing to let it go for $8,000 or what have you. When you are in a business of being a business, of soliciting money, I think that reviews become even more important because people are putting photos out, they're representing their work in the best light possible, they're adjusting their lighting to be the most complementary, they're working with angles, they're working with staging of giving a feeling of realism in the posing and the scenery that they're placing the baby in, and they're describing their work in a very positive and complimentary way in order to present their creation in the best light possible and to find sales, to find a buyer. And to me, that warrants a space for respectful yet honest review of the work, because it's not like you're making your art and you're placing it on display in a museum for people to come through and say it's a matter of opinion whether you connect with the art. You're actually actively soliciting a purchaser, a buyer. You're actively asking people to exchange their money for your creation. And I think it becomes even more relevant in that scenario than just an artist who has a gallery or an exhibit of their creation, because you've crossed the line from just being an artist to also being a business person. And it's tough to take criticism or negative feedback. I think everybody wants everybody to love what they have created, and it's not realistic. Even some of the kindest and most beautiful women in the world are cheated on. You know what I mean? Like, somebody's always unhappy or looking for something else in any scenario. But I fully support honest review of work and sharing of opinion. I think it's important to state when it's your opinion versus flaws with skill or flaws with technique, but both are relevant as long as they're honest and can be supported with feedback. And I think it's good to present pros and cons. Yeah, so can you imagine where you'd be if Amazon and Yelp and Google and all of these places did not allow review of products, and you couldn't compare and you couldn't hear, hey, this air mattress that we purchased for our guests deflated 2 hours in. I got 4 different ones and they all did, and 8, 9, 10 people all say the same thing. Tumo has knocked down our teddy bear. And then you go buy it and you just keep, people just keep wasting their money. Or, hey, this carpet looks nothing like it does in the pictures, and they said it was cushiony and it's soft and fluffy, and actually it feels like a Brillo pad, and there's no pad on the bottom, and it slides across the floor, and it smells terribly like chemicals, and the piles are just ripping right out of it, like a day after taking it out of the package. And you see that from multiple people, or if you just went on the write-up from the company, this is the soft plush stylish carpet that's safe for your children and everything else, but that's not the product that you get, versus seeing 20 positive reviews backing up the claims of the company. It's so valuable. Anyway, it's kind of a boring topic actually, but it's what I'm thinking about today. Look at this gorgeous girl. She is my future artist. Oh, Niklaus, let's put these two together. Come here, my love. Oh, these babies smell so good too. Yeah, she's a little bit bigger than he is. He's been sitting up all week in underneath this in the bassinet because I can't deal with his hair anymore. I just can't deal with. I got shell shocked from untangling his hair, and I just couldn't face dealing with it again. So here are my gorgeous babies. Just to be clear, my reviews of Wendy. Her work is incredible, and I'll be the first to admit it wouldn't be for everyone. Her babies all have a very unique look. They're quite different from what I see from other the other versions of the same kit. She presents very fair, pale-skinned babies, and they all have this aura about them that I connect with. Some people do not go for this very fair look or this thick hair. But her skill is fantastic, fantastic, and it's totally my style, totally my speed. So I've been calling them the twins. They're not really exactly twins, but there they are, my sweet babies. Okay. All right, guys, zoom in a little bit for you. I think that's all I've got. I have a delicious dinner to go cook pretty late at night, but my husband's just getting ready to be done with work in about half an hour, so I'm going to jump on that real quick and get this video posted. But I look forward to hearing from you and what your thoughts are. Of course, I know that mine certainly aren't representative of the whole population, and so it's always useful to hear other people's opinions, perspectives, and experiences, because sometimes people have thought of things or even gone through things that I never would imagine, have pictured if they weren't shared to me from somebody else. I only know life through my set of experiences and filters. So thank you if you've made it this far in this very long video. Thank you for stopping by to see these cutie pies and for listening to my thoughts on this topic. I appreciate you for being here, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. And if you've got new videos up, I'm trying my best to catch up. It's been a little bit difficult to comment on every video I've been watching and to watch every video that's in my list. But I'm working on it. Hopefully this weekend I'll have some time, because we are going on a little mini family vacay. So. All right, guys, thanks again for being here, and until next time, we're sending much love. Bye for now.